everyone, this is Aeronexus and we are continuing today in mission 7 of the FS Academy Interceptor pack, which focuses on NDB navigation. And while NDBs are not as common anymore today, and they're still important, at least in my opinion, that you know how to fly with them. Today's aviation world, actually, most of the NDBs are being replaced with GPS guidance, and let's dive right into it.
The Non-Directional Beacon, or NDB, is the simplest form of radio navigation that you are likely to come across. In this aircraft, we use the Relative Bearing Indicator, RBI, to navigate with an NDB, utilising the yellow pointer at its centre. When our Automatic Direction Finder, ADF, is tuned to an NDB station, the arrow on our RBI will point directly to the beacon. Using the ADF radio panel, located directly below the RBI, tune in the Jersey NDB, frequency 329. The needle on our RBI has rotated and is showing the NDB to be to our left. Maintain our heading straight ahead and observe how the needle behaves. We will treat the NDB as identified. See how, with the head of the needle deflected to the left of centre, the deflection increases further left. Keeping our nose to the right of the head has pushed the needle left. This is known as pushing the head and is a fundamental concept for navigating with needles. The head of the needle will always push away from your heading. Make a left turn now so that the NDB needle is pointing straight up, meaning that the NDB is directly ahead. Remember that radials are bearings from a beacon, so if we want to follow a radial towards a beacon, we fly the reciprocal course. To fly the radial 090 inbound to the NDB, we fly the reciprocal course of 270. We have turned left onto approximately 270 with the ADF needle centred. This puts us on the radial 090 inbound to the NDB. Disregard the bearing card that encircles the RBI. Mentally superimpose the RBI needle onto your heading indicator. Modern avionics will do this for us, but here we must use our imagination. Use the push the head method to keep us flying inbound to the NDB on the course 270. It can be useful to double the difference. For example, if the ADF needle deviates left by 5 degrees, turn left 10 degrees to begin pushing the head of the needle back towards the desired course.
Actually 10 degrees off, so we need a bit more.
As the NDB needle has started to drift, turn towards and beyond the direction it is pointing to push the head back towards our desired course 270.
See, but I think we are still 5 degrees off.
As the NDB needle has started to drift, turn towards and beyond the direction it is pointing to push the head back towards our desired course 270. As we near the station, the needle will become increasingly sensitive. Try to make early and small corrections to keep our superimposed NDB needle pointed to 270 on our heading indicator. You will see that the needle is now moving much more quickly, so we are nearing the NDB. Don't chase the needle from here, simply fly heading 270. An NDB does not have a cone of confusion. Passing overhead the beacon will be evidenced by the needle swinging quickly, then pointing behind you. Now that we are outbound from the NDB, the needle points behind us. As opposed to pushing the head of the needle, our nose will now pull the tail of the needle towards it. Push the head, pull the tail. Make a left turn to heading 215 and see how the tail of the needle is pulled around towards our heading. Now maintain heading 215 and watch as the tail of the needle is pulled towards our heading. See how the tail of the ADF needle is pulled towards our heading. Push the head, pull the tail. This is how we fly a radial from an NDB, by turning to pull the tail onto the desired outbound radial. Again, we mentally superimpose the NDB needle onto our heading indicator. Let's say that we want to intercept the radial 180 from the NDB. We fly a simple 45-degree intercept angle. Superimposing the NDB needle onto our heading, we see that the tail of the needle is to the right of 180. We will therefore fly an intercept heading to the left of 180 to pull the tail towards our desired radial 180. 45 degrees left of radial 180 is 135. Turn left now to heading 135. See how this heading indicator has markers at each 45-degree interval. This makes it easy to set and hold a 45-degree intercept heading. Superimpose the NDB needle onto your heading indicator and watch as the tail of the needle is pulled towards 180. Once the tail is around 5 degrees from our target radial, we will turn right onto heading 180.
Hard time maintaining the altitude right now.
Looking at the tail of the needle, it looks like we are about 5 degrees from our target radial 180. Turn right onto heading 180. We are now tracking the NDB radial 180 outbound and can pull the tail as needed to maintain this radial. These are the basics of navigating with NDBs. We see how the ADF needle simply points towards the NDB, making navigation to a station straightforward. However, there are some important limitations to be aware of. Firstly, NDBs typically have short ranges of 20 nautical miles or so. Long-range stations do exist, but are rare. Also, radio interference, thunderstorm activity, coastal refraction, and a range of other issues can distort the NDB transmission and reception, causing the ADF to give misleading and inaccurate guidance. The key concept to take away from this lesson is push the head, pull the tail. This will live on throughout your flying career and remains relevant even with modern avionics, as we are to experience firsthand later on. Please maintain 4,000 feet throughout this exercise. Very well flown. Nicely done.
Okay, and that completes lesson 7. As you have seen, I was a bit too much chasing the needle. Too much, so that led to these, as we said, pilot-induced oscillations. I take the B rating for now. Let's continue the series, and I hope you liked the video. Share your experiences with NDB flying in the real world or in the sim before. Have you ever tried it? How did it go for you? Tips and tricks you want to share. So with that, I leave you to practicing your own NDB navigation procedures and see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.